Amen. I want this one.
You want me to res-
I already did. I told her I just got in. On this one though.
Yeah, these others. I did that.
There's a lot of people there.
Diana. Diana.
I got mom with me. Hey, folks, we have another room set up. Someone like to go to the other
Diana,
conference.
you told why.
There's some chairs over there.
Um,
There's, it's video. I need to get over there, but I think the officers would have turned that video on also. And there's also some chairs out here that we can set up with the TV. The officer's window.
I'm gonna get to that camera right behind you. No, you're fine. Just stay where you are. Just want to let you know that I'm gonna be working around.
Hey, Doug, could you grab that sign up sheet in front of you?
Okay, yep.
I'm just gonna pull it to the time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is the pen- I can take the pen with you?
You can see your keys. Yeah. And hey.
So I will. They'll be out of here in a second. So just let me finish setting up the camera and then I'll be out. Okay, here. Sorry.
Keep an eye out for the door for fire safety. Okay.
I know.
There you go. That's not my bad.
¿Y si yo me siento acá arriba?
Hey, come take my chair. I'll stand back here. Okay. Just that one.
First, sorry we were late tonight. The time is 7:30 p.m. The city council meeting on February 1st, 2024 is called to order. I'll do roll call. Councilman Harvey. Here. Councilman Ramon.
Here.
Councilman President Michael Gregory.
Here.
I'm Mayor Gillen and I'm present. Councilman Baltazar Gonzalez. Councilman Rob Ladd.
Here.
Ready to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So on tonight's agenda, we're going to move 5 to 4, and 5 is going to be, terminology there. is going to be set over for a later date if necessary. And now I'll move to public comment. This is a business meeting of the city council. The city values and welcomes public input on matters of city concern. Please address the council as a whole rather than individual council members or staff. Action items or council action on items brought up in public comment is limited to Oregon Public Meeting Law. The council may direct staff to study the matter and reschedule it for further consideration at a later date. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes per person with an optional 2 minutes for council question and answers. If you wish to address the council, you will need to come forward to the podium, identify yourself for the record, state your name and address. If anyone in this room or any other room feels disparaged at any time, I'm not going to stop the meeting. You can just get up and simply leave. If you'd like to come back when the person's done talking, raise your hand and I'll try to call you back in. This is not a Q&A answer question. We have a lot of people here tonight. I probably want to speak. So I doubt very much the questions. We're not taking questions. This is for your comments. So with that, welcome everybody. If you would like to step up, go ahead. Oh, and we'll probably do a 30-minute time limit on it overall, because we do have other city business to conduct, and that is in the rules. Go ahead.
My name is Brian Wagner, I live at 166 East Hemlock Drive, Juris, Oregon. I am here right now with a petition of support with over 100 signatures of the word of mouth in the last 3 days in support of Chief Chase. Today, as concerned citizens of Juris, we stand before you to express unwavering support for Chief Chase. We wish to respectfully draw your attention to our apprehensions regarding the City Council's ongoing efforts to remove dedicated and hardworking employees whose perspectives may differ from your personal agendas. In a democratic society, it is vital that we navigate our differences with mutual respect and professionalism. We, the undersigned, advocate for an inclusive approach that values diverse opinions, allowing us to collectively address challenges as a community of individuals with unique perspectives and free will. We strongly voice our disapproval of any actions reflecting nepotism, unethical practices, and a lack of transparency within the governance of our city by the mayor and council. Our plea is for a transparent, ethical, and fair approach in the decisions that impact our community. It is imperative that you consider the voices of all citizens you represent, not solely those aligned with personal special interest groups. Our community thrives when every perspective is heard and respected. We urge you to uphold principles of democracy and ensure that decisions are made for the greater good of our city. As engaged members of this community, we appreciate your attention to this matter and trust that you will act in the best interest of Juris and its residents. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thanks for your comments. Next. Oh, go ahead. Next.
Juris community, I want to tell you why Chief Chase has my full support. He's not just a great police officer, he's a good person in our community. Chief Chase is working hard to make sure we don't feel scared when dealing with the police. He especially cares about our kids, trying to show them that the police are here to help them. One important thing to know is that Chief Chase has never gotten in trouble at work. He always does a great job. He's like a role model for folks making our city proud. In times when we need to trust the police, Chief Chase is someone you can trust. Let's keep supporting him as he keeps us safe and makes our community better. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Arturo Lopez. First of all, I want to start by issuing a public apology if I offend anybody last time I was here when I questioned something. The reason I did is because I was invited to a public meeting and I was kicked out of here, so that's why I said that, right? But I could say thank you for what you do. It wasn't my intention. It's not my intention to offend anybody. With that, I really like to see things on the open. I don't like to see things that they're just being done closed doors. Most of us have been here in this city for more than 30 plus years. We know that the city right now is a city that's thriving, that is, I mean, there's no division right now, and we don't want to see that. You guys remember 30 years ago when we had all these problems in the city with graffiti, the police was racial? It was racial. I don't see that right now. And before you guys do any decisions, I need to understand that we're gonna support you if it's for well of the community, but you have your personal opinions about that person and you wanna do it because of that, then we're gonna have problems. We are the taxpayers. We feel secure at night. The police is there when we need them, okay? And like I said, I don't wanna see what happened 30 years ago. You guys don't remember what happened? Each one of you guys here. It was a horrible city, just be honest. And now that we have a great community, great police, I don't know what we're doing. And that's what I'm asking you for openness. I don't want to see nothing being closed doors. And I'm pretty sure everybody feels it the same way, right? If we need to do something, we need to be on the know. What are you guys doing? And the reason for what? There's always a reason, but we want to know. Thank you.
Did you sign up among the room?
Yes, I did.
That's
From knee surgery. Before I speak, I'd like to say that I did call and I spoke to Laura today about getting some additional time, as I do have a disability.
You need to use my.
Is that better?
No, 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Mayor and council, my name is Mickey Wagner, a former council member with over a decade of dedicated service. My dismissal prompted by a recall petition led by the current assistant administrator, the mayor's best friend and recent city hall hire, raises serious questions about the adherence to the charter requirements during her hiring. Having intimately known the charter for over 10 years, I question whether the legal hiring process was circumvented to reward her for removing opposition to decisions like the possible firing of our chief of police, and the same effort to our former city manager without reasons. The mayor and council's seemingly preferential treatment, potentially extending to multiple job offers, amplifies concerns. The urgency to hire a permanent city manager, as dictated by the charter, has been sidestepped. Instead, the council chose 2 temporary managers, an accountant, and possibly the mayor's friend, our current assistant administrator, to transcribe meeting minutes, all while avoiding the crucial appointment of a permanent city manager. The intentional delay, coupled with the charter's violation by the acting manager, who takes orders from the mayor and council, raises doubts about their commitment to transparency and legality. Their refusal to hire a permanent city manager enables illegal appointments, like our current assistant administrator. Excuse me, and supports repeated charter violations, including the possible unjust firing of our current chief of police. The acting city manager's endorsement of Clifton as highly qualified is questionable. given the financial discrepancies and oversights in the city operations under her watch. This includes missing money from employee pay stubs, failure to pay excise tax to the school, and the near shutdown of city power. In summary, the council's actions bypassing charter mandates and appointing unqualified individuals threaten the integrity of our governance. It is time to reassess these decisions, adhere to the charter, and restore transparency and fairness to our city and its residents. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Just to clarify for everyone, I have best friends in the world. It's unfortunately, sorry, Laura, it's not Miss Clifton. She is a friend like many of you in this room are. So let's clarify that. Secondly, Laura just did her first payroll training on the 29th. She has had nothing to do with the finances. The PGE bill, yeah, that's public record. She was not the one who didn't pay it on time. So that being said, please stop. You're a council member. Have some respect and come and ask or know your knowledge before you spread rumor. Thank you.
If you would respond, do that, but you don't respond. Yeah.
Thank you.
I got one.
Thank you.
My name is Susan Smith and I live at 852 Land Lane here in Jervis. I am here with some concerns regarding the investigation regarding Police Chief Chase and some hard questions for the City Council. First, I'm going to express that in the time that Chief Chase has been with Jervis, I have observed nothing but professionalism and support for the community. He has been at many community events from national to school district events where I've seen him interacting with community members with a smile on his face. Most recently, prior to his absence, I was discussing the lack of a sidewalk alongside where students will walk to and from school, where they will have to walk in the mud. He voiced that he was actually on top of trying to advocate for that to be addressed. In my observations, he has been holding himself to a high standard of integrity. Next, I want to address the question of why was the police chief put on administrative leave without the community being informed. It has been mentioned that he has been on leave since October. I have witnessed posts on the community's social media sites of people who have been trying to get a hold of him via email or phone messages that have gone unanswered. As far as the community knew, he was AWOL, while in truth he has been told not to come in. A simple out of office message for his email and voicemail, or posting on the Jervis City website page, and there is a page specifically for the police administration, would have been easy enough to accommodate. It is a common practice, especially if someone is on extended leave of absence, regardless on the cause, but especially someone who's a civil servant who's being investigated for disciplinary action. A simple web search of police chiefs on administrative leave brings up many instances of this action. Doesn't the city council think that those that serve deserve to know what the accusation is? Third, I am highly concerned as to how the council is facilitating dealing with the findings of this investigation. Why was the only way that I heard about a special meeting on discussing discipline or termination of the chief via third-party social media? The council knows that many citizens do not go by City Hall on a regular basis, and the obligation of informing citizens of our city was done in a bare minimum performance, while the common practice has been to post on the city's social media platform. What are you guys hiding? Fourth, I would advise the city council to be careful not to violate the chief's constitutional right of innocence amendment, which is the right to know what he's accused of and to face his accusers. If it is perceived that the council is violating his rights, it will put the council in jeopardy of a lawsuit, which will be a very messy ordeal, whether found at fault or not. And this will cost taxpayers dearly. In closing, I frequently hear discussions on how the city council is behaving in an underhanded and, to quote social media, corrupt manner. I challenge the council. If you do not want to be accused of being corrupt, please evaluate your actions and make appropriate changes to rectify how the community is viewing you.
Thanks for coming in.
Jacob McManus, I live at 1020 Winfield Street, over there in Ivy Woods. I just kind of want to bring up like a concern of mine and some others, as in like cleanliness into this city. I know we're trying to improve this city, and I think it starts by the little things, due to cleanliness. And since I've been here, I've seen the street sweeper go by like twice, maybe 3 times. I've been here since 2022. I don't really know a lot of the fact. I know we contract out to Woodburn, to my knowledge. Could be correct. I think it's causing problems due just like the dirt buildup and everything that's going on in the curbs. I know it's not a big deal, but cleanliness is where we start with like the little things that we're trying to improve the image of the city. It starts with cleanliness and the little things. Due to the dirt buildup, the water collects, starting to crack the concrete. That's a new neighborhood in there. Right there in front of my driveway is getting cracked, and the drainage, they're getting blocked up with just dirt and gunk. And I'm just wondering, maybe, maybe we can do something about that. I don't want it to where everybody, has to move their cars at a certain time or whatever, and then get fined for not moving their car. I don't want to enforce it that way. But, anywhere between like 9 to 12 on a Tuesday where everybody's at work, the street sweeping can come through. And I'm not just speaking just for Ivy Woods, but through the city. Because it wouldn't be fair just to go through there either. But I think we should improve the city by cleanliness and just giving it a better image. And this is where we should start, is cleanliness. And I think it would mitigate a lot of problems too, and save money, as in we don't have to replace the sidewalk or the concrete or the road or wherever, and keep the drainage clean. And then it causes problems for the city with the water too. And I know we have a problem with the water going on. We just mitigate the little things, and maybe it'll help us out in the long run. So thank you.
I know that probably at some point, I do have a free email. It's on the old website. You can still see it. If I get the email, I do answer. So, okay.
So I'm interpreting for, this is my mother, and I'm doing it because,
You got it. You got it.
No, just pull it up.
Let's pull it closer to you. Just a little closer.
is that better?
Oh, sorry.
Got to say your name and address.
Is that better? So I will be speaking on my mom's behalf, because she can't speak English. So her name is Carmen, and she lives at 40 Grove, Jervis. And her concerns are with Officer Chase. And this is what the following is are her concerns. She moved here in 1991 up until 2017 or so. She never had any problems. And they went on until, or the problem started because of one of her neighbors, or a couple of her neighbors. And I will go on as fast as I can. So I hope I don't go over my time. I will try not to. But it started because of her fence, and them trying to take down the fence because they believed that, or they still believe, as a matter of fact, they're harassing her constantly,
because they believe that it's belongs to them. So they started in 2017 with a family member or friends that was Chief Peter's son-in-law. They started by harassing her by going over, and Timothy was living there at that time. They started by constantly driving over there, Officer Chase and the former chief of police. They started driving over there and constantly taking pictures and constantly flying their drone over my mother's house. And then one of the other neighbors, Petra, and the new neighbor now, Zachary, constantly harassing her, that the property belongs to them. Long story short, he's always gone over there and told her that the property line has to come down. So the reason why she's here is because she wants to say that this harassment is caused her a lot of distress, is made her lose sleep to the point where they have had to sleep in the living room at times, because he told her here at one of the meetings actually, that it doesn't matter what she says or what she does. If she doesn't come to a settlement, they will tear down the fence, and there's nothing that they will do about it to stop it from happening. The Jervis Police Department will not protect her from them tearing down the fence when this is the police department. So she feels like, well, if the police department isn't going to be protecting us, who will protect me from my neighbors, from people that are committing these actions? Who do I call? What am I supposed to do? We've been here since 1991. And we're not hurting anyone.
Since you're telling your story, I'll give you another minute and a half, okay? But then I will have to stop you.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Sorry about that. So she's trying to say we also have been here a very long time. If they haven't done anything to anyone, and if they've been here a long time, and if they're saying, everybody's saying that Officer Chase is a good, nice person, he does harass people. He doesn't he does take sides, and because she doesn't speak English, and there's people that are afraid to come up and speak out. That's why they don't do anything about it.
Okay, I'll have to take time, but I have a question. You said this is about a fence. Is that a civil matter?
It is a civil matter. And from what we heard,
So it's a civil matter that we were involved in. Is that what you just said?
that is correct.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your comment.
Please be my guest.
Hello, my name is Petra Wright, and I live at 103 Eastern Drive.
Yeah, here.
My name is Petra Wright. I live at 103 Eastern Drive. As Carmen has now publicly announced that we are harassing her. We are not. I've gone to her with letters. I've gone to her with statements. I've gone to the police department, and so is my neighbor Zach. It is on. Sorry. We have not been harassing her. It has gone to the court. We are still on a legal matter. It should not be brought up here. It has been brought to you guys, and you guys have all sat here and called me and my husband and my back neighbors racist, not knowing my background. And you guys have thrown my name to Officer Chase, saying that our family is racist. Officer Chase is not racist. He is open to everybody. The whole entire council at one point has told him that we are being racist towards this couple, and we are not.
We are wanting our property line back. It is not just a civil matter. It is going to be against the city because the city has allowed her to supposedly purchase property that is no longer hers. It is not hers and it has never been hers. I'm irritated and frustrated at the fact that everything is being considered that the council and people in this community are separating each other and calling each other racist when they don't know people's backgrounds. They don't know where people come from. We need to be open and honest and trustworthy to people. And I've done nothing to harass any of my neighbors. I've gone to her a few times, given her letters, letting her know stuff. I have also gone to her attorneys through my attorney. So there's nothing that I have continued harassing her on in any way, shape, or form. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in, but I assure you, this council has never said anything like that. And I'm not sure where your source is. Would you like to tell us? Okay, thank you.
My name is Douglas Lanfear. While you're doing that, you want me to identify myself?
Yeah.
My name is Douglas Lanfear. I live at 940 Wingfield Street, Northeast, Jervis, Oregon, 97026. You ready? Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, and city staff.
Wait, let me stop you. He called for an ADA accommodation. I'm gonna back up, let you start. He gets 5 minutes. There's some people that call ahead, just so others know.
Thank you.
I did call.
This is quite, I'll begin again. Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, and city staff. This is quite the turnout for public comment this month. I am encouraged to see the citizen support for these meetings. I see slogans on social media sites that say, protect Chief Chase and purge local corruption. I do not, however, see any explanation for either slogan. Slogans are all good and wonderful, but factual, substantial evidence is essential for any contention or argument. What we are all expected, what are we expected to protect Chase from? Maybe Chief Chase can come before the citizens of Jervis and make a public comment on how he needs protection from local corruption. The understanding I have is that the chief of police has been on administrative leave for the past period, pending thorough investigation into whatever allegations have been lodged concerning the chief. This is the usual process when complaints are received concerning personnel issues. City officials, including city council members, are ethically prohibited from disclosing a personnel matter until a thorough investigation has been completed. Prior members of the city council who have been urging this kind of discourse know the limitations of the city council members and apparently are now contending this silence constitutes local corruption. This kind of political discourse has no place in such a small city as Jervis. The revision to the 2012 city charter, which was proposed by Shante Platt along with Susie Marsden. This revision was advanced to the voters for consideration. The citizens of Jervis voted on the revised city charter and passed this measure back in 2012. The 2012 charter provided for a single point of failure. In this case, the city manager, Susie Marsden. Susie and Denise ran this city for years without developing a single standard operating procedure for any position within City Hall. Susie Marsden did not cross-train anyone within the city. This is not a characteristic or the attribute of a manager, Ms. Marsden. You, as the city council, and we as citizens have been duped into believing this city was being operated competently, and it was not. Now, Susie Marsden wants to post on social media sites how much she cares about the city. She doesn't, or how much she cares about a city that she does not reside within. This fidelity comes after the position Susie Marsden left the city in, a complete mess. Susie Marsden, the city manager, constructed a system to fail without her direct and personal attention. That is far from managing anything, Ms. Marston. Securing her position through extortion is not what the citizens expected from a city manager. Susie then held the city hostage as she left her position to charge the city hundreds of dollars as an independent consultant to establish procedures and correct what she should have fulfilled over her tenure of engagement as the city manager is unconscionable. The reason the video capture system was changed is because Susie Marsden established the Zoom account under her personal name and not the city, as a city manager should. Then she refused to surrender the password for the Zoom account access to the city that pays for the service. That behavior, Ms. Marsden, is extortion. Then, to participate in fueling the controversy over the disclosure of what is occurring with the chief of police is the height of hypocrisy, especially when Susie knows firsthand the restrictions that the city or the city council is under to not disclose an ongoing personnel investigation. Shame on you, Ms. Marsden. I was hoping to witness a unification in Jervis and not a continuation of division.
Just point of order.
I will. If as much time was spent finding solutions instead of sniping at one another on social media sites, the city would be a whole lot better. I question the motives of the social media posts instead of personally seeking solutions. I plead with the concerned citizens of Jervis to come together and solve the problems before the community. We are a community of only 2,595 people according to the 2020 census. Seems we could come together a bit more to find the lasting solutions the city needs, such as changing the city charter back to a pre-2012 meddling that was created, the single point of failure that I have discussed. Thank you for the time you have allowed me to voice my comments, concerns, and past experiences.
He got stopped by, he was stopped by a point of order. We have to stop the clock at that point when we address it. That's the legal rules. I'm sorry I didn't explain all of them before we started. He had 5 minutes because he had an ADA accommodation. I cannot deny that to anyone. Next. This will be the last public comment today. I do need to look online. I haven't done that yet. Are there any hands up out there for public comment in the other room? Oh, I would love if people would come show up like us. Who do I have? Can you come up to the back door if you're up, if you have your hand up out there? If you don't have sign up already and stuff, is there one more? Okay, after her. That'll be the last one, Hilda. Go ahead, Laura.
Good evening. My name is Laura Gutierrez. I live at 367 East Town Drive here in Jervis. I have lived here in town for almost 40 years. Me and my family, I currently have over 30 relatives that also live here. I have heard a lot of stuff and I am disturbed to think that we could use Chief Chase. It has taken my peace away. I don't have a special connection with Chief Chase or Officer Marshall or let alone the newer cops here in town. My number one reason that I am here is for my kids and my family. We know Chief Chase from his presence in school, community events, and when we are in some kind of trouble or distress. But we also, I'm not proud, know him from some criminal activity and getting arrested and search warrants and things like that. So I'm not really excited when I see Chief Chase knocking at my door, but I do know one thing for sure, he's there for official business. He has made it clear to us in many occasions, he isn't biased, he isn't racist, he is not unjust, he isn't trigger happy, he doesn't take things personal, and above all, he has never lost his composure. He's always been professional. I know very well that he will uphold the law. Don't get me wrong. He will arrest you. He will carry out search warrants and he will not hesitate to, your Miranda rights and carry out the law. All of these encounters, the criminal ones have been scary and everybody's out of their comfort zone. And he has always managed to de-escalate the situation and do what has to get done. As a mom, these scenarios are hard and painful. This atmosphere he has created in Jervis has not been accomplished overnight. I wouldn't want to no other cop to arrest me, my family, and or anybody other than Chief Chase or any of his officers that are under his supervision, because he has accomplished his mission. The department has accomplished their mission of providing and making us feel safe. Over the years, we have learned to respect Chief Chase for being Chief Chase, not for causing fear in us or abusing his authority or being unjust. He has been able to penetrate the barriers that stand between police enforcement and the people, the broken trust, the bias, the specific dynamics that have to deal with Jervis and the community that lives here. The Jervis Police Department didn't get where it is today just by chance. We have all seen clips on social media of the corruption that many cops have been involved in. And some have ended very tragically. They are people too. And they make mistakes. Like Chief Chase is very, he's a person, he can make mistakes, but I really hope that at this time, all the money and resources that have been put into this investigation outweigh all the good things that he has brought to this community. Jervis Police Department was in a very bad state a few years ago, a while back. And ever since he came, it has progressed a lot. I asked the people who are behind this and to please be honest and have legit reasons for their claims. I really hope that these charges are in the best interest of Jervis and are not personal.
Thank you, Lana. Ms. Flores.
I'm here.
You gotta say your name and address.
Oh, yeah, my name is Tilda Flores, 1173 Winfield Street, New Jersey. I'm just here for the people, like always, and they really like Chase, Officer Chase. And we, as the people, we want him to stay, because like Laura said that, yeah, the city was bad. And he did have contribute to make the town better. So that's all. That's why I'm here, and that's why I came, just to support him.
Thank you, Tilda.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for your public comments. That was the last one.
I have lived in Jervis for.
Joe, we said that was the last one.
Sign your name. He did sign your name.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and put your name and address and who you are. You know what? If anybody else wants to speak, you can follow them up. Anybody else gonna want to? If you live here.
Since when was that?
Well, I'm just giving extended time for it.
Yes.
Yeah. Council, what do you say? Do you want to keep going after this? All right. Yeah, could you sit down, please? That's, go ahead.
Mic up so we can hear you.
All right, sounds good. I've lived here in Jervis since second grade. So if anybody can beat that one, let me know. Okay.
Me?
And, I'm here basically to support Chief. To back him up. Most of the people here behind me are here to back him up too. I mean, the guy did the rodeo, Wes and those guys, helping out, the DARE program, when they have the CPT, in the park and stuff, they all get involved. I've never seen anything bad about him. I don't know what's going on. I think you guys will maybe talk about it. I don't know. Are you gonna be speaking about it today or not? There's gonna be a thing shut down.
It was removed from it was item 5.
Yeah, remove the item? Okay. Anyway, so I just wanted to say that most of the people here were here to back them up. And I thought Sue did a good job for us when she was here. I'm here to back her up too. I don't know how long you've been here, but
Jessica.
council. But anyway, I don't know how long he's been here.
It's not about longevity.
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
that's enough. You know what, I don't need to get at the, yeah,
But anyway, thank you guys for
Mr. Reese,
Yes.
you were on this council at one time, so you know the rules about executive, correct?
Yes.
So you know that this council is under constraint, right? So would it be too much to ask you and your friends to stop the online rhetoric? Please, without knowing what's going on, could you stop beefing it up? The thing about it is, Joe, out of respect, please, you know the constraint we're under, right? Thank you. Have a good night. We're done. We're not taking any more. The council wants to do the 30 minutes. Thank you.
So exactly my point, everybody that you did not like, you disrespected this whole meeting. That's all I want on record. I originally came to speak for chief. But everyone you don't like, you have done nothing but disrespect. Have a great day, and I love that you showed that to your city.
Okay, so moving on.
No, we don't.
We're moving to the consent calendar, approval of the minutes. We have, item A, 1 through 3, December 2023, regular session, revised December 21, 2023, special session, revised, January 4th, 2024, regular session, and bills list for January 24. Recommended motion, approve the consent calendar as presented for February 1st, 2024.
Make a motion that we approve the consent calendar as presented for February 1st, 2024.
A second.
Okay, I have a motion, a second. Any more discussion? Not hearing any. I'll ask all in favor, say aye. Ayes have it. The motion carries. So moved. I don't have any committee reports, no presentations, no public hearings. Old business, budget committee update and how to proceed with applicant selection. Council, I put this back on here because we do have an extra seat available, so we do not have enough applications at this point. We have maybe 1 or 2 extra that will be on. We're gonna get a lady that had a hardship will let us know. So I move that we open the application process back up for an extended period of a month, or how long do you want to do it?
30 days, fine with me.
Can I get a consensus from council to do that? Okay, and we still have, I believe it was Councilman Ladd and Councilman, was it you, Harvey, that are going to do the extended interviews and vetting process of the applicants? Okay, once we get all the applications in, then we can move forward with the checking of references and interviews for those that you find that you'd like to. Old business B, 2024 annual citywide cleanup. We had said the 27th, but Republic Services, Laura, what date did they say?
The 20th.
Council, can we get a consensus that the 20th will work for you? April 20th, yes.
Yes, and I think we had a citizen.
Yeah, we've got a volunteer, don't we, Dave,
April 20th.
for the citywide cleanup. Yay. That being said, new business, oh, and Cindy, the new Republic Services lady, will be here in March to introduce herself very pleasantly. You've already spoke to her via the telephone. We have no new business, the staff reports, police department, Lieutenant West.
Be brief on this, so calls for service, 106, arrest for traffic events is 17, traffic break warnings, 8, agency assist outside city limits, 6, agency assist inside city limits, 9. The basically same thing, Officer Camacho's doing a good job in the schools, just got done with being the JV basketball coach for girls basketball. We have a care class that we just finished week 7 with, and we have 10 weeks total. The significant calls for service, we had hit and run, officers arrived. The officer actually located the person involved. We also had probation arrest warrants that we served. That's all for today.
Thank you, Lieutenant. I want to say thanks again for during the ice that you came and got everybody chained up and ready. And it was appreciated that you were out there for us. Thank you very much. Thanks, Carlos, Officer Marshall, Kathy, all of you. You've done an exemplary job. The city is running well. Thank you. Next, we have Public Works.
Right, not too much going on over the last month. With the bid ordered for the wastewater treatment plant and accepted. We've been in touch with RNG Excavating. We have a pre-construction meeting set for February 15th, which will be the first stage of many to come. Hopefully get things rolling out there soon, especially this time of year. Pre-books. Along with the winter weather that we had, we were able to test the generator at the water plant. It worked as it should have. Switched power over and water pressure. So that's great news there. The backup generator that is behind City Hall, we are finally able to diagnose the continuing issues and just a small sensor giving us big problems. It's up and running now as well. We had a fire suppression system inspection for the system here at City Hall, and this is something that should be performed annually. This is the first one that I could find, but they did find some deficiencies. So working on getting some estimates to see what it's going to take to do that. I had one come in today, and I'll review those tomorrow. So I'll see what we're looking at to get it certified. And then continuing on with the freezing weather, the continued cold spell, we actually had minimal issues. We did have a couple meters freeze up from houses that were sitting without water being used. Lots of residents had burst pipes, so we were able to come out here many times in the middle of the night to get their water shut off. But we were able to handle everybody in a timely fashion and minimal damage in the houses. That's
Kyle, thanks for helping the residents. You went above and beyond. Thank you. I'd like to thank Joe specifically too, and Hunter for being out there in the ice. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you. And from the administration.
Good evening, everyone. Got three items to report here. We did a payroll audit to make sure that we were accurate for our W-2s for this year's tax season. That produced a couple of items that we're going to look into, perhaps change some procedures, make it a little more efficient, and keep the accuracy up. We did have a meeting with the wastewater treatment plant crew, the city engineer Kyle and Marion County Finance Department. We talked about how we're going to do the financial aspect of that. And I'm glad to report that we have figured out how we're gonna do that. And the city has adequate funds to maintain liquidity and have some float as we're doing this project, which looks like it's gonna start sometime around April. Phase two of, we have an auditor that's gonna be looking at our financials from the end of last year to now to make sure that everything is in ship shape, and that person will be here starting tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. She won't?
Noon.
Oh, at noon. Well,
Noonish.
okay, well, then she'll be here at noon. Other than that, we'll just keep it brief and short here for the purpose of this meeting. Thank you.
Another question about that. So how do you feel that the payroll training that Laura took for her very first time with payroll went?
It went very well. I observed a good portion of it. Our CPA person was involved in that, and Encode, which is a software provider, provided live instruction, and they were very helpful.
Laura, how do you feel about it?
I think it went good.
Yeah, she did her very first payroll. She's not had anything to do with the finances. She actually just does workups for a recorder, or will be doing that. She's not ever had any hands in our finances. That's for the record. Thank you. With that, business for the mayor and council, just the citywide cleanup. I'm really excited, and I'm excited to see all of you that come every week and those that don't. I'd like to see if you'd like to come back. That'd be great. Then you can get involved in our workshops. We have a water bill rate increase workshop that's coming up. We'd like to look at maybe changing that because it's set to go up by the resolution from the past for 2035. It's increased $4 a month or more for the last 2 years, making it about $96 overall. If we could put maybe a look at that and see how we could do better, or at least if we raise it, what better we can do with the money that's coming up. So yeah, come join us for something positive. We'd really like to see you all here. Thanks. Okay. The time is 8:24 p.m. This meeting's adjourned.
Wow, we'll be here every single time to support the team.
Wonderful.
That's
Yeah, I said, hey, they came out.